All right, guys, John Brown here with Explore Park City Living, and Sundance just left Park City, as I'm sure you know. But Shaun White just showed up with a 22-foot halfpipe to replace it. And I'm being serious. The same weekend in January that's been synonymous for the Sundance Film Festival for decades, January 22nd through the 24th, is about to become a global halfpipe competition right here on Park City Mountain Resort. And if you think that's just a ski snowboard event, you're missing the bigger story here, because Shaun White doesn't do anything half-assed. So let me show you why this matters. I spent 10 years on the World Cup circuit skiing slopestyle and big air. Although that's not halfpipe, I think slopestyle and big air will eventually be folded into this, but for now it's just halfpipes. I did compete halfpipe when I was younger, but I didn't get to the World Cup stage on halfpipe just because I didn't really like it, to be honest. I was actually good at it. But anyways, the Snow League is genuinely different from anything that has existed before in our sport. The Snow League is the first professional sports league dedicated entirely to halfpipe, but like I said, I think they're going to expand into slopestyle and big air once they, get a few years under their belt. But it's not a one-off event, it's a league with a full global schedule, a $2.2 million prize purse for the first season, which was, this season. And the champions were crowned in Lach, Switzerland. And one of the big names is probably Eileen Gu. She won for the women's. So we're talking, the best people alive in halfpipe competing at the highest level for the title and the big prize purse. So Park City is going to be the second season, and it's on the schedule. White announced yesterday, which is probably going to be a week ago when you see this. On top of the 18-foot halfpipe they built in Scottsbowl specifically for the announcement. And here's where it gets interesting. For the actual competition in January, they're building a 22-foot halfpipe, which I guess on World Cup and X Games level, that's normal, but that's bigger than what's currently standard anywhere in Utah. And the last time a halfpipe that size existed in Utah was the 2019 FIS World Championships, and that isn't just an event. That was huge. I competed in that myself. I was doing slopestyle and big air, and I actually had to bow out because I got a concussion doing a triple 14, which actually was on the podium, if not mistaken, first. I think Finn did trip 14 mute, which was exactly what I was doing. He got on the podium. I can't remember what place he was in, but I had to go for it in front of the home crowd. I had to do it. I landed one, then I got a concussion, so I wasn't able to compete, but I had to go for it. That was actually one of the last competitions that I actually did. But yeah, let me connect some dots here, because this is where it really gets relevant for anyone thinking about Park City real estate or just the future of Park City. And having Sundance leaving was a big deal. It definitely was. I've talked to a lot of people in this community who are genuinely worried about this, and I was like, don't worry, X Games is coming. I was wrong. I will say that here. I was wrong. X Games did not fill the void, but what brings the visitors, the energy, and the economic activity is going to be Snow League. And it is a direct answer. And I'd argue it's actually more aligned with Park City's fundamentals than a film festival ever was. So Park City is a winter sports town, and that is the identity. The Olympics in 2034 are happening here. Park City Mountain is already confirmed for Olympic venue for halfpipe and slopestyle, and both skiing and snowboarding. So this is a great natural progression into that. The Utah Olympic Park is right up the road, and so is Deer Valley right across the street, hosting freestyle events like aerials and moguls. This community has been building toward being the center of a global winter sport for 20 plus years, since the 2002 Olympics. And Snow League plugs directly into that trajectory. So I really do like this. Think about what that 8-year runway looks like from an investment standpoint to the Olympics. You've got the Snow League coming in 2027. You've got the 2034 Olympics 8 years out. You've got Deer Valley's massive East Village expansion. You've got Park City setting 35 minutes from Salt Lake City International Airport, one of the most accessible mountain destinations in the world for international travelers, or even, people coming from other major places within the US. And here's what that signals for me someone who works in this market every day. Events like Snow League don't just drive tourism, they drive perception of a place. They affect short-term rental demand. They attract buyers who want to own something in a market that's on the global stage. And for skiing, Snow League is going to bring that more than a film festival. And I've also, heard people say in the last 6 months whether Sundance is leaving would hurt Park City's appeal. My answer has always been yes and no, right? Park City's long-term value isn't built on a film festival. It's built on terrain access, community, and the Olympics coming, ski town, overall outdoor community, biking in the summer, skiing in the winter. The Snow League just made that case better. Now, what does January 22nd through the 24th event actually do practically? You've got a 3-day competition with live music, festival atmosphere. It's not just one halfpipe competition. He puts on a whole event here. On-mountain experiences, a full weekend, and if you know Tao for Sundance, they booked that same place for next year for Snow League. So there's going to be an aftermarket. I mean, this might change, but this is what I heard. There's going to be an aftermarket pop-up party at where Tao was last year. I'm not sure if Tao is going to be the person next year, but either way, they're putting on events and big concerts, and it's going to be a show with the live music, the festival atmosphere, on-mountain experiences. That's heads in beds. That's restaurants booked, and that's short-term rentals generating income during a window that might have felt uncertain post Sundance. It might not be the same demographic that is throwing money around like Sundance was, but it's going to be a more inline and on brand, people coming to look and ski. When Sundance happened, the ski resorts were so no one was there. No one was skiing at all. So now one of the strongest arguments I can make is I don't know every detail of the season 2 schedule, but destinations are being announced. But the fact that Park City is in the mix at the same level as Aspen and Locks, that's meaningful. This is where the world's best athletes want to compete, and that is going to create a brand for Park City that is top tier athletes competing in a ski town that should have top tier competition. And that reflects in this community that Shaun White put it well when he announced it. He said that Park City has been one of the most important places in snowboarding and in free skiing. And with the Olympics coming in 2034, there's energy building here that the Snow League wants to be a part of. And I felt like that energy is perfect. Anyone who lives here has felt it. Now it's showing up in the form of 22-foot halfpipe and a professional league coming in and making a weekend out of it. And it's gonna be based around skiing, not some film festival that is come and gone in the wind. And I think it'll be more on brand. So it might not be, the super high-end rich people coming in and being all posh for the weekend, but hey, it is what it is. I think it's more on brand. I like it, from a professional skier standpoint and a real estate standpoint. I don't mind it. You might take a hit on rentals just because the amount of money people had coming for Sundance is going to be different, but I think long-term, it's better for the community. Give me a call, 801-837-4445 if you are wanting to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Park City. See you guys.